I really need to change that intro. And kind of the whole channel layout, it's kind of lame, and I'm lame.
But as you know, the channel layout is already changed. It's already changed, and now it's been 3 weeks actually since I actually uploaded a video. Later in the video, I'll say 2 weeks. But the thing is this: when I was recording, it was 2 weeks since I uploaded the last video, but the next day happened and it became 3. That's wild. So yeah, and of course, there's also the channel opening that I need to change. You're asking too much from me.
Hey guys, it's me, the Dr. Pepper guy, and I finally felt like making another video after like 2 weeks. It'll definitely be a trend in this channel. Don't worry about it. I just enjoy doing things at my own pace a little too much. I'm not trying to burn myself on YouTube for like what a third time. Like I'm really not. I'm not trying to have that. So yeah. Anyway, you know what this video is about from the thumbnail, kind of, mainly from the title. The things that I want from the Kingdom Hearts series as we're going forward. This year felt like the perfect time to make a video like this where I basically talk about the things that I personally want to see from the series. Because, as you know, last year in 2020, with the existence of Remind a Millennium Memory, we seen it with our own eyes that we're heading on to newer things. We're officially in new territory. And of course, as you know from the post-launch interview of Millennium Memory, Nomura told us that we are having an announcement break year, like 2021. Sorry, 2021 is going to be an announcement break year for Kingdom Hearts. Now, some of y'all might consider that a lie because we're getting Kingdom Hearts for PC. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be like 2 weeks. Damn, it was about to be like 2 weeks. But yeah, excited for it. But I guess in the sense that we're not going to be getting announcements for brand new Kingdom Hearts content, because you know these are PC ports for games that we already played all of them, because since they came out in console and all that, right? Some of y'all at least played like most of them, or you're just another motherfucker who only played 1 or 2. If that's the case, then get the fuck out of my channel. Nah, I'm playing, or am I really? Get help. but yeah, like you get the point, right? As you know, Nomura wants to. I'm pretty sure in the interview. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the video footage will correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't. Like, I'm going off memory, and the last time I read it was just when the interview came out in the first fucking place. Nomura wanted to say he wanted to announce a little something next year, which is like the 20th anniversary of the series, right? So as you know, I'm excited. So this year, since this year's the break year, and next year I guess we're gonna see a little bit more of the new storyline for Kingdom Hearts. And as you know, Millennium Memory is supposed to be a glimpse, it was a good glimpse of that. So yeah, it just felt like I just wanted to put these things, say things that I personally feel like will make the series better than it already is. Now, of course, I'm going in with like low and realistic expectations, because this list might most certainly age terribly. None of them might not come true. So yeah, with that, let's fuck the boring ass intro. Let's just really just get on to it. So as you know, the first 2 points are points that I'm pretty sure that I've already illustrated in my Millennium Memory video. If you didn't check that out, I suggest you check that out, because I feel like those are one of my videos on the better side. But if you did check that out and you're watching this one, don't worry, I'm gonna brush them off fairly quickly. The last thing I want to do is bore y'all like I did with all my other videos. So yeah, as you know, first point is basically, there's something that I'm iffy on. I'm just like, because I'm not so sure, because alright, I'll elaborate on that later, right? So first off, I want there to be, and it most certainly will be, more KH original worlds, more KH original concentrated content, because as you know, at the end of every Kingdom Hearts game, that's where the meat of the KH original content comes into full force after you're done with all the Disney shit. Before that, obviously, as you know, some of it is sprinkled through here and there. Somebody will be like, alright, maybe just give us the same number of worlds that DDD had and give us more new KH original worlds instead of just like, let's say, 1 like one new Cage original world. But now I'm over here like, is that really plausible? Because as you know, Nomura says that he wants to freshen things up and also we're in an entirely new reality. The possibilities might okay, I can say the possibilities are endless at this point. And who knows, maybe the whole structure of the next game is gonna be totally different than what we're so accustomed to. It's not going to be the usual. Of course, you have your starting world. Then you have to go through more Disney worlds, and you get some, something related to the plot here and there. It's like sprinkled through, and then of course, in the end, like shit goes down. Like we're most likely not going to get that formula at all. Because this is a new reality. I'm not saying that Disney worlds won't be a thing. One way or another, it'll be part of the series. I feel like, because it's still a part of the series' identity. So yeah, I feel like that. And second one, this is already happening, but I want it to be properly done, which is, expand Scarlet Column, learn more, go get more into Scarlet Column. As you know, in the after credit scene on Melody Memory, Yensa tells Mickey to go to Scarlet Column so that he can investigate, more about the ancient masters there, and also so hopefully that he can get more clues to Quadranum. So. Or the whole new reality. Quadranum is the city, of course. But yes, now that there's all that, I want it to be done properly, because Scala is such a beautiful and also interesting world with the tidbits of lore that we've gotten, like Daybreak Town being under it. Like, what? Like, it's literally under Scarlet Column. We've seen it with our own eyes as well. And in Remind, we've got further confirmation that yes, that is Daybreak Town, and Scala emerged from it. Like, how did that happen? Like, how did that even happen, bro? Maybe Dark World later down in the road. Hey, see what I did there? Well, it's fucking late. But yeah, later down, we'll probably, find out, maybe, or basically, let's say the quote unquote mainline, or let's say the console games, will show it for us. I don't know, but I want it to be done properly, because it's also such a vast world, and I would definitely love to explore more of it, and not just the breezy quarters, which is the area we already explored in Remind. Now, the next one I really want is a BBS 2. There's a perfect opportunity to give us a BBS 2. Because, as you know, from the Limit Cut cutscene, you see the Wayfinder trio heading on to the Realm of Darkness. So, now, and also later you get, you later see that there's been a 1-year time skip. And they're still in there. Even in Melody Memory, we didn't really get any confirmation that they came out. So to our knowledge, they're still in there. And as you know, in the Realm of Darkness, time flows differently. So I'm thinking, what I'm thinking? Just like a BBS 2 where we get more of the Realm of Darkness and we get more of the Wayfinder trio. And, you just scrapping the shit there. They have their moments together, moments alone, as expected. And especially with the trio, they're in an interesting place right now after the post-Stayner saga. I don't even need to explain what you could do with Ventus's character. Aqua's character, she definitely still has her PTSD, I feel like. And also, as you know, this time, she has people now to help her with it. Now, and her taking on more of a mentor role, how is that going to bounce off of Terra, who's also another person who is taking on more of a mentor role for Riku. And especially I'm interested to see how let's say Terra's mentality is, because as you know, not only did he finally get back control of his own body, Xehanort isn't controlling his body anymore. It's him now. He is controlling his own body now for so long. Not only do we have that, but him also and being entrusted as the one to shoulder the responsibility for the other two. Did that come off with a British accent? And 3, him take on more, like I said before, him take on more of a mentor role for Riku, especially with how he looks at Riku, according to the Kingdom Hearts character files. Also, if you're someone who loves Kingdom Hearts, and you're someone who loves the cast, likes the cast, whatever, I highly recommend you to check out the character files. They're definitely slept on. I feel like a lot more people should read it. They're a brief, interesting read, I'd say. They're a pretty neat read, except for Terra Nord, because Terra Nord's character file is pretty much just BBS's endgame. It's just in word form. Like you're just reading Bird by Sleep's endgame. So yeah, but the other ones are pretty interesting, like Riku's being in the HD collections. So give it like please, you know what I'm saying, please. But yeah, aside from that, so these are going to be mainly gameplay things. Osaka team, y'all did amazing with Remind. Y'all were in the bag with Remind. Now, of course, if y'all apply the same Remind energy into an entire game, then we are in very good hands. But even with that, I feel like there's some things they should address, some things they should definitely take care of, which are issues. I feel like that should be fixed. I think even the story portion of Remind has some of these issues. So let me get into briefing with it. Let me get more brief with it. And of course, this doesn't only apply to Saka team, but it could also apply to other teams who work on the non-numerical games. That is, if they take the action RPG route, then yes, we can also say that they can go under this kind of. But if it's something completely different, like say Melody and Memory, which is it's a rhythm game, so it takes on a completely different gameplay style, then can't say shit there. So yeah, first off is balancing. They got their bosses back right. They got their bosses back phenomenally. Now balancing as in just like how much damage, the options, like whatever, like the things that Sora has in his kit, or you the player have in your kit, with the team attacks and whatever offensive options that the next numbered Kingdom Hearts game, let's say, is gonna have. I want all of them to have like proper damage output, and not for it to be so broken, like in KH3, where you literally had to restrict yourself a lot to make something like Proud challenging, or you had to take a huge jump in difficulty, like critical. You don't really have an, let's say, in between, but there is an in between. Procos give it to you, but like I said before, they're more like placing restrictions on your kit. You can't really use all of them. You get what I'm saying? So without the need of that, just like it was yeah, you get the point. Not only that, but also properly balance like the amount of damage the enemies might do, especially in like level 1 crit, because nobody wants to get one-shotted by a fucking coconut. Like, sorry Dio, but nobody wants to get one-shotted by a fucking coconut at all. So just there's things like that. And also please, no more walking hitboxes, or no more stupid hitboxes either. It just, God no. And I definitely don't want any off camera attacks. That shit pisses me off a little too much. I'm gonna be straight with you. Just like, if you're gonna kill me, just doing it for when it's visible in the camera, not like completely behind, unnoticed. Especially when I'm feeling myself and everything, and then suddenly bam. That sucks. I mean, that doesn't go. Obviously, these things doesn't go under balancing. I just went off on a certain tangent there, but you can kind of add it to its own separate thing. That's one. And also another thing is just basically give us proper enemy variety for mob fights. So as you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the combat of the game. You can clearly see from the start, like let's not say Limit Cut and Secret Episode, because there are clearly the exceptions. There are one-on-one fights and all that, but in base Kingdom Hearts 3, you could definitely see that the combat was more oriented towards fighting multiple enemies, because a lot of your offensive options are more like for crowd, like they are more suited for crowd control and all that. Of course, they can also suit like one-on-one fights, but you can very clearly see that yeah, these are meant for multiple enemies first, and any one-on-one use is second, right? Secondary, sorry. So and some mob fights in KS3 can be fun, but there are also some mob fights which are just so fucking tedious, and they're just like a chore to go through because of the combination of enemies they have. Obviously, I'm not saying just take out any type of variety the enemies might have. I just say it was the proper type, and not like in some fights, in some mob fights in Kingdom Hearts 3 where it just felt like they just threw motherfuckers in. They just threw motherfuckers in, and they didn't they low-key just didn't play test it, they didn't give a shit. And they're just like, yeah, this is good enough. Obviously, it probably doesn't really show. But a critical is where it shows even more. And the downside of it is it feels like it kind of kills the fun of the combat, in my opinion. I feel like it interrupts the flow too much. So yeah, like I said before, like give us like proper enemy varieties that weave together pretty well, and that don't feel like, oh, it's just like it's kind of just interrupting the fun of the combat too much. If they take care of that, that'll be phenomenal. Even Remind Story Scenario kind of works with the Bob fight in the Kai Heartless. Oh, yes, that segment where it really just feels like everything works against you in that moment. Like, yeah, just like I really don't want shit like that to be done. Now, we got that out of the way. Other things that I also want is just, oh yeah, please, this is another thing that I really, really want them to take care of. Handle certain gameplay sections properly. Because Kingdom Hearts 3, it has certain gameplay segments. Like, I don't care if you dislike it, love it, whatever you think KH2 better, whatever, you will definitely had some parts in KH3 that makes you go like, oh my god, like you really don't fuck with that part. Even when you replay it, you just get you just don't like the fact that you have to replay this certain part. Now you could think about that one part or multiple parts that make you go like, ugh, every time you try to rewind to replay Kingdom Hearts 3, or you're already in the replay Kingdom Hearts 3, or you're already playing it for the first time when you're going through, and as you're playing it, you already get annoyed with that gameplay segment. I'm pretty sure you at least have one, you will at least have one of those scenes, right? Now let me lay out mine. Fight the Demon Tide these many times, obviously, right? Skull. Now, Skull in casual playthroughs, he is cool, but on, say, critical, he is not cool. Like, how do you give Skull those many health bars, but Anti-Aqua, right? Anti-Aqua has those many health bars. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, but yeah, that fighting the Lich. Now, the Lich isn't hard. Its moveset is very basic. It's just that you have to fight it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And I know it's annoying as fuck in the Tangled world. Like segments like that, if just wipe it out, and we'll live happier lives, right? We'll live our lives will be very, very happy. Now, even Remind suffers from this particular issue. Now, which one? You might be like, which one? First one, I definitely feel like is just you fighting the organization all over again. Like you already fought them in the base game. Now in Remind, you have to fight them all over again. Now, of course, I get the get why is to give you more is to give you more clarity on Sora when like what was going on, like what was going on with Remind Sora when he was when he went back in time and he was going through all that, is to give you like perfect clarity. But I definitely feel like it could have been handled better, because like especially after the strong start Remind had, I felt like the later part kind of just bogged down its pacing, especially like the Marluxia, like all that fight. Like it really had no reason to be there, because there was no news cutscene. It was like there was just a team attack, but you could also use it in the Triple North fight. So yeah, that was a very odd decision. You couldn't even play as Mickey either, so that was just there. Now that whole segment, and of course the one that I mentioned before, this also felt like the mobs, they just threw motherfuckers in there and everything just works against you in that part. Like air stuff works against you, flow motion works against you. Yeah, just like you try to dodge, but you accidentally flow motion and a certain attack just hits you because you couldn't cancel it out, or you were stuck in the middle of the animation. Like I was literally stuck in the middle of a walled animation and an attack just killed me out of nowhere because I was on level 1 critical. Yeah, yeah, that's very fun. That sounds very fun. And also, that Heartless has too many fucking health bars. It has too many health bars. So please, next game, let's not make a repeat of this. So yeah, I would really love that. Now the other thing, I really want gone. Right? Like the person who thought of this should get the fucking Togora treatment. When you went to the afterlife, I really want that to happen to that person, because this was such a bad idea, and how it made the final product and them going, yeah, this is good, is beyond me. And that is basically the wall knockback. If you are someone who played KH3 enough, that will definitely make you go, not the wall knockback. Yes, bro, the wall knockback. I know some of y'all are fucking annoyed of it. So, but if you don't know, here's a brief rundown, so that, and also to the people who already know what it is, your frustration could, you could get more frustrated. So basically, the fucking walk knockback is just is. When I say walk knockback or wall bounce back, you pretty much get what I mean. It's like basically when it can apply to both the player, the playable character, and the enemy character, where when the enemy hits the wall, they instantly recover from the fucking stagger, and sometimes the wall the wall bounce back gets in the way. The wall knockback, sorry, gets in the way during certain finishers. Like when you're trying to do the second form AoE finishers, this definitely happens in the data battles, especially since if you're around in the corner where just the enemy just gets out of the staggered state because of the wall, and the wall bounce back, being there. And as you know, like of course there were invisible walls before, but how it worked was just like if they hit the wall, like nothing changed. They were still stuck in that animation. They didn't bounce back like in KH3, like they didn't instantly recover. They were still stuck in that animation. Thing is, they're not going out of bounds. But in this, well, yeah, it just works against you, and you get punished very unfairly for something that you earned, from something that you did properly. And that a punish that you got, it just strikes you unfairly. And of course this also applies to the playable character, when it happens to the playable character as well, and it happened to me as well. Is basically the first phase in the Armored Xehanort fight. I'm sorry I can't give you exact footage because enacting that moment is very hard for me. Even when even when I try to, if I try to record it and everything, it's hard. It's basically when, like it basically this happened. Sora, he got the, he took the damage. He took the sorry. He got into the animation where he takes the damage, and of course, my initial thought would be aerial recovery, not payback strike, not payback strike, aerial recovery. That would be my initial reaction. I would press circle, right? So Sora would be in the middle of that animation. It doesn't even matter if you activate aerial recovery. Like, that animation gets interrupted with the wall knockback animation. And thing is, Sora gets stuck in that animation, so the enemy suddenly hits you, and as you know, you also get one shot in the process. Yup. So that's the wall knockback, and just make sure it's the last game that it's in, and we'll be good. Honestly, we'll be good if that happens. You know what I'm saying? So now we're done with that. The next thing that I also want from the series, or basically the next Cage game, is that I want them to use flow motion more properly. Flow motion was honestly an ability that I honestly liked. I liked a good bit in Dream Drop Distance, and I didn't really get the, let's say, the hate for it. Of course, in Kingdom Hearts 3, they really nerfed it, sadly to the point that it's damn near useless. Which sucks, because what little you can use of flow motion, except for one ability, that doesn't exactly feel nice to use. But besides that one ability, flow motion feels nice and satisfying to use. Like, it actually feels nice to use, and it sucks that it just got so nerfed compared to DDD. And of course, there were pretty much patches which nerfed the flow motion even further, which sucks even more. Like, why do you do that? Right? But yeah, I don't want flow motion to be gone. I want it to be there and all that. So yeah. And the other thing that I also really want Sakura to do, I want them to make reprisals the staple of the series we're going forward. Reprisals are such an amazing addition. That and Wrist Dodge, they're such a neat and just such a good addition. It just feels like, how do we play the older Kingdom Hearts games without this? I personally feel like, how do we go on so long without this? It's like I honestly want them to keep it. I honestly want them to keep it. I want them to I want them to add a little bit more to it, because when you get the reprisal, you get something like Final Blow, right? I want them to do something more neat. You can add cooler options to it. Like, you can go a little further with it, and of course, also keep Wrist Dodge, because Wrist Dodge is cold. Wrist Dodge is really cool. So yeah. And of course, I definitely want them to keep form changes, because form changes are such a unique and nice idea. I want it to stay. I don't want it to go how usually the main thing in the main combat mechanic, let's say, in the number Cage game, the next one will go away. Kingdom Hearts 2, you have dry forms, but obviously it isn't really there in Kingdom Hearts 3. But you can feel like that the dry form is present in a way. It's present in the next game, so I don't want it to be something like that, because even if form changes are taken out, the idea, the concept, and some of the uses of the form changes, I feel like they will be present in the next main mechanic they introduce. But I honestly don't want it to be that way. I feel like especially with especially with how combo switching and everything works, I feel like you could really just expand off of the form changes idea even more. Give us more types of form changes. Just man, perhaps even give us more form changes that are more, let's say, one-on-one oriented, right? Instead of just the usual, yeah, it's meant for multiple enemies type shit. Like, I really want full emotions to stay. I really want them to be. I really want them to further improve upon it even more as we're going forward. And I remembered. Basically, give us instantaneous keyblade switching. Like, keyblade switching that doesn't like black like it does in Kingdom Hearts 3, and you need to use the item tech and all that. Yes, I would definitely love to have something like that. And also, I'd say give like you know, make keyblade switching and pulling combos where like, you get what I'm saying, when keyblade switch combos, I guess, man, make it smoother in the later games. It feels more like a part of it. Like, that would be really. So I would love to see that. I would love to see it be real. So this other one that I really really want is a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. Like, please, a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. There's no way that y'all will make another one. Like, not sorry, won't make a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix, especially for the game, the Kingdom Hearts game that sold the most. Like, please, I know Remind is supposed to be like the final mix, but I want like the final mix, like the entirely definitive version of Kingdom Hearts 3, where like the different issues that I've said before, like the walk knockback, like things like that can be just like, it's gone. You can give us certain gameplay enhancements. Of course, since we got the new consoles, perhaps, like, you know what I'm saying. Let us play in much higher frame rates. I would love to see that. Or even if it doesn't come true, the community will probably just make a fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. But besides that, I really want for there to be one. Like, please, like, for the people who didn't buy it, $60, $70, whatever. But for the people who did buy it, just $10 for the upgrade, just 10 to 15 or $20 for the upgrade. I would drop bread on that so fast. Just give us some gameplay enhancements, a little bit more content to the base game, one or two more bosses, like, please, a certain balancing, just like, I think they really just need some like just one balance. Please just fix that. Of course, even guard fails can be fixed. Like, just fix all the issues that that are present in the game in this package, and we will be good. I would love to. I would really love to see that happen. But yeah, like Hearts 2 Final Mix, please.
And of course, oh yeah, this is another thing that I don't know how the hell this slipped out of my mind during the original recording, but I feel like a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix can also fix certain issues that I've found. Is basically, first off, is that you can't explore Scala. You can't explore the breezy quarters and just the free Scala if you beat the secret episode. Or not even the secret episode. If you just go towards the limit cut, you can't explore the breezy quarter part of Scala ever again, which I find very odd. You can't explore that at your leisure. If you did read the Remind story portion and you leave it there, then yeah, you can go there and do it, explore. But if you didn't, then you just press either just limit cut episode, then yeah. Which I thought was very odd. And of course, there's a whole issue where if you beat the secret episode, if you beat Yozora, you can't replay the Remind story portion for some odd ass reason. So I don't know if a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix can fix that exactly, because my idea of what a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix should do is just like incorporate the Remind story bits in the base game in a better way, so it can all fit. I feel like that's the best option in my opinion. So doing that, you can also like go through Scala, go through the BZ quarters and stay right to the sky segment, all by your own without having to use over out of bounds or get it, or you don't need to get jumped by the multiple Xehanorts. Nothing like that, of course. Either not nothing like that, or it's like you get the point. And of course, if you want to go to the limit cut, you can go do that on your own instead of it having to sacrifice you exploring Scala. I think that can be pretty nice. Um, and that, and I also guess some quality of life change that they can have is basically have you able to save whenever you're in the menu of Little Chef's Bistro. Because usually how it goes is if you screw up a dish, then you basically you gotta leave the bistro, rerun the save, and also, as you know, you have to return to the title screen to reload the save. And of course, as you know, if you don't have a next generation console, or basically if you do like our current gen console, then that loading is gonna take a bit, and it's a tedious process if you do it over and over again, because it is easy to screw up the cooking shit. And I guess they also get I'm pretty sure they also get harder to do. So yeah, I think like the Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix can help on things like that. And I also feel like if they give you the option to use both the easy codes and pro codes, of course you don't get to like if you have both of them turned on, you don't get benefits by either of them, but you can still take around the game. I feel like if they give you that second like that that other option besides it's either easy codes or pro codes, I feel like that would make replaying the base game a lot more interesting. And you don't really I honestly would like that. To turn things like that, it would be appreciated. And of course, this is another issue that I've been like. This is a rather annoying issue that I've been having, with the game's comment for a bit. It's basically when you use Arrow, Araga, whatever, probably Araga. You know how you use Araga to just like make certain enemies caught up on it. The thing is this: if you have them caught up and you're trying to get some hits on them, sometimes you just it forces you to jump. Like you can just keep mashing X, but when you're in the middle of it, you just get the jump out of nowhere, which is just odd to me, and it's annoying because like sometimes of course it forces you to super jump when you have flow motion on. Even if when you have flow motion off, it still gives you like that slight bump up, which kind of interrupts things. And that's like it's also annoying in the sense that, especially the super jump shit is probably the most annoying, because sometimes the arrow might end by the time you fall down, and you might not have a flow motion attack equipped like I do. But then it sometimes will usually be like that. Yeah.
Now that we're done with that, whole segment, the other thing that I want this to be reality so bad. A Kingdom Hearts Muso game, bro. All right, there's many people already talked about a Kingdom Hearts fighting game. That is a good idea on its own. I'm not really a fighting game type of person, right? I'm definitely not. I suck at it. I suck at it. But besides that, for the type of person I am, I would really love to see Kingdom Hearts Dynasty Warriors game. That would slap so hard with the main characters that we have, with their playstyle. It would fit so well, and you can go ham with them. And hear me out on this. Like, you know how Age of Calamity be having secret characters, right? So you can have something like that with Kingdom Hearts as well. But with this one, the secret characters are the real Organization 13. The real Organization 13. That would be so sick. Like, imagine playing as Xemnas throwing fucking laser domes. Imagine playing as fucking Ansem. Imagine playing as Terra Nord. Or most importantly, imagine playing as Xehanort with the Keyblade. Like, you can use the abilities that Xehanort used when he was using the Keyblade in base game, and let's say, the data battle. Like, that would be so fucking crazy. You can give even variations, like Ansem. You can give him a variation where he has the Guardian, and the one where he doesn't. And you can do the same with Xehanort, since you have the Xehanort clones. I mean, that would be too much work, but one variation where it's armored Xehanort, and the other one, as you know, Keyblade Xehanort. Like that would be, it's such, like, bro, there is a gold mine right there. You can give us so many sick characters, or you can even just go the extra mile and just put the foretellers in there, and they have some sick ass moves. Honestly, I don't need it to make sense. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I don't care if there isn't anything relevant to the story. I just want it to be a thing. I just want it to be a thing. I want them. And I definitely don't think the Switch can handle shit like that. But the consoles and PC, they definitely can. So I want it to be, I want it to be reality. So I want it to be reality so bad, bro. Like if they really did to take the extra mile, it was like the foretellers there. They have their own little like original movesets crafted there, and you can go ham with them as well. Oh my god, that would be so amazing. And on top of that, co-op. Online co-op, local co-op, both. You can go wild with it. It's just, of course, and also crossplay. Most too. Just, bro, I would love to see a Kingdom Hearts music game because of that. That would be so much fun. Like it would be so much fun, and I feel like they should definitely take the chance. They should definitely make it. So yeah. Now we're done with that. The other thing that I want is, of course, as you know, Union Cross is ending soon. Like we pretty much got confirmation that yeah, it's ending this year, right? And of course, Dark Road will be going on a little bit more longer. So you already know what I'm gonna say here. I'm also one of the people who wants Union Cross to be the story of Union Cross. Sorry, to be retold in a different way. Perhaps give us a KH animation series where it's basically the story of Union Cross, and even can give us some Dark Road as well. Like I would love to see that, like something like a movie series, like back cover, but it's split into multiple parts, or like I said before, animation series. Sorry, animation series. Man, like that would be so sick, and of course, Union Cross's story would be a lot more darker since we don't really have that little chibi style whatever that they have, but I would be all there for it. Like I would love to see it, and I would love to say that yeah, if you want to get more into the lore of Kingdom Hearts, you don't need to go to, we used to go through the mobile game, but now that shit is over with. We got a fucking anime or an anime movie, like bro, like Reunion Cross, whatever. I really want it to be done. I really want that to be reality. Now, the next thing that I want from the series is this is more on the Switch side of things. So this is more on the Switch side of things, and I'm not sure if it'll be done, but basically the main point is this. As you know from the interview, on one of the Melody Memory interviews, they talked about them wanting to put Kingdom Hearts on the Switch as well, since Melody Memory is already on the Switch, right? They can, why not? What about the rest of the series? But they couldn't. But we can mostly guess that that's because Switch is too ass to handle Unreal Engine, unless we get the Switch Pro, and it can. But for now, I wanted to, like, so, alright, I can't put it in a point or something like that. So let me elaborate on that more. I personally want this Polish studio. So a week or two, my sense of time is fucked up, mind you, you saw. Somewhere around this time, we got a confirmation that a certain Polish studio is, working on remaking several Square Enix titles, and they're planning on putting it out on multiple platforms. Also, they said that the things that we know that is that the development costs are going to be shared between that studio and Square Enix. Not only that, they also said that it's not going to be onto some remake shit where the gameplay and the story is different along with the look of the game. No, it's only the look of the game is going to be different, but the gameplay and the story is going to remain the same to the original. So now I'm thinking, especially with how Crash 4 Switch port was handled, where they kind of changed the art style so it doesn't look like a worsened version of the version of the PS4 Xbox One version of the game, but rather something like the art style changes made it look like it has its own little style, also so that it can run better on the Switch. I want the same type of thing to be done with the Unreal Engine games. I don't think back cover is a problem because my memory handled the Unreal Engine cutscenes pretty well. They handled it fairly well, right? I think back cover will be just fine. It's a movie. But KH3 and 0.2, I want it to be given that treatment where I guess give it a new look where it looks the way where the graphic style is changed so that it can run better on the Switch. I want that to be done. I would like that to be done, to be honest, so that you can drop Kingdom Hearts on Switch. But then again, the possibility of that is low because, like I said before, they say that they want to put these remake on multiple platforms. I don't know if, and obviously, I don't think KH can apply to this unless it's remakes of other KH titles. But yeah, I really want when they said that it will be dropped on multiple platforms, as you know, KH right now it got into multiple platforms. From consoles and PC, PC, it's about to. So you see what I'm getting at. I want that to be done so that we can also get KH for Switch. That would be cool. Playing it on the go would be really nice. So yeah, those are basically all the things that I personally want from this series going forward. That come to my mind that I want to be done. I feel like, okay, if you take this into account, that the series will get better, and I just really want to see these things become reality. Personally, what are yours? Y'all will comment, but I would like to see what do you want from this series as we're going forward. I already hear what would you want to be done? You get the point. What would you want to be done? Please make sure to subscribe, hit up the bell if you can't. It's optional, but definitely like and subscribe. We are 15 subs away from 200. So yeah. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.